So just hello to everyone out there. We were lucky enough to bring Micah in, who's a setter at UCLA, now with the men's national team, if you don't know who he is. So bunch of great stuff. He was a two-time All-American at UCLA. Almost won a national title there. Just came
Almost. Hashtag almost. That's trending.
You'll see Micah's, I don't know why he's talking into that thing, but apparently he sounds better out of that thing.
It's for clarity. I need them to understand me when I speak.
Yeah, this is Micah. He's a great dude and a great volleyball player. And so, Micah, can you just start? Can you tell everyone here at SG Elite where you came from, where you grew up, how you ended up going to UCLA, and then how you ended up on the national team with me making jokes in Poland over breakfast.
Sick. Yeah. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Micah. I'm from Hawaii, like a lot of the other setters on the national team, actually. Yeah, born and raised. Both my parents played at the University of Hawaii, played volleyball, so I kind of got brought into the game as a child. And then had some success early in club career, and at Punahou, luckily Spiros spotted me. And yeah, he offered me a scholarship to go to UCLA. Almost won a national championship and was kind of plagued by injuries 2 years. There's no excuse, but definitely had a lot of injuries some years. And because Spra plays favorites a lot, and I was his guy, he took me to the national team. Luckily, I've been there with Thorny, and he's been helping me out a lot, and just trying to get better as a young player. There's a lot of veterans on that team, so that aren't going really anywhere. So just kind of trying to get better and climb up the ranks a little bit, slowly but surely. So that's where I'm at in life right now. Played my first professional season last year in France, in the French league.
I was just out of curiosity, just how was your club? Just growing up from club, because that was a big deal in Hawaii. Obviously, like
yeah,
you were really successful. I don't know the exact numbers. I'm not that I don't know exactly, but I know you won some national championships as a youth player, right?
Yeah. We won 6, I believe, with my team in Hawaii, and then I switched teams to actually Joe Worsley, Gage Worsley. I don't know if you guys know the Worsley brothers, but I switched and played with them in Northern California for my last 18th year, and we played TJ and Josh Tuaninga in the final, and we beat them. So yeah, it was a super club. The club years are your best years of volleyball. You get to play with people you grew up with. You get to play with people that you know and love, like that are your brothers. And after that, it gets a little bit more distant, but I would say club is the funnest time of volleyball by far. There's no pressure. It's all about having fun. You get long tournaments where you stay in the same house or hotel with your friends and get to see them all day. So enjoy your time. Enjoy your time playing club, because it's a great time.
Really good advice, by the way, because I feel kind of the same way going through the career. How's just out of curiosity, basically, how did you find this is actually a question from one of our teams in the 18 lead team. Feel free, by the way, if you have any questions, send them to the side and we'll read them off later, or send them in, and we'll answer as many questions as we possibly can. But yeah, just out of curiosity, this is a question from coaches that are out there, by the way. If you want to sneak something in, you asked me a question earlier through text. That's how apparently that's getting done. So nice job, the coach that did that. They were curious about, the question is, what's your transition from transition from club to just college? Like, what was that like? What were the hard parts? What were the easy parts? Tell us about that.
What's weird is that the transition from club to college was actually easier than any other transition I've had. And it's really actually, maybe it's different for me than others. I think what happened was I was really ignorant. Like, I didn't know anything besides like going in and trying to just play volleyball. And I really grew up with a lot, like no drama on my team. We were all best friends. And so I kind of went straight in the club and went straight into college and didn't even think twice. I'd go in, like try and take people out, and just wasn't even thinking about any sort of other dynamics that really existed, because I never had problems with that before. I was always playing with people that like I had played with since I was 8 years old, and that our families knew each other, and Hawaii's a pretty relaxed place. So that transition the first year was actually pretty easy. And then the second year, when I started to realize other dynamics going on and how people in a different place live and how that differs and how they look at things differently than people look at them in Hawaii, that was actually a way harder transition, not only in volleyball, but in life. Just to like gain awareness of what's going on and start to look into things a little bit on a more deeper level. That kind of made the transition a lot harder. So I would say the first year I was young, didn't really care, didn't really think about a lot, just went in and just played volleyball, and luckily was put into a good position to succeed. So playing my first year, everything kind of went pretty well. It was the second year that the transition, more from a lifestyle and personal, and more of like a basic, not even on a volleyball level. That's what was a little bit more challenging.
And what about your transition now, just from college to the national team?
That again was really, really hard. You get used to kind of being the go-to player, especially now you've had 4 more years of being kind of the go-to player. You have your club years, and then you have college, and college is on a little bit of a bigger stage. So things build up, such as like your name and when you play, and a lot more is at stake when you're on the national level than when you're kind of on the club level. So pressures build and things like that. I would say a lot of that adds into the transition. What's weird is a lot of the transitions, a lot of the tough parts of the transition that stick out to me aren't really skill based, because that stuff you can just always train and it's really controllable. And if you put in enough practice, those transitions can be a little bit more smooth. It's when you're moving to a way different dynamic, a different team, that those kinds of things I've always liked. The volleyball has been there, but those kinds of things have actually been the toughest part of moving around all the time.
Cool. Super, super good answer. There's lots of transitions that happen, at every level.
For sure.
I'm going to say, well, you're one of, I view you as having a really, really mentally strong player. You're not going to say that right now, because I know you're not going to think that that's the case, but it's 100% the case. Well, and I know you're really honest. So I'm just curious, what's your mental approach to the game? Has that changed over the years? And I know you're going to be super honest, because that's who you are. So I'm just excited.
I think honesty is the best way for people to learn. If you're giving fake answers, and it's not really anything to learn from that. I would say it's good to know that people at the top level are also struggling with confidence. I think confidence is like one of the biggest factors of your performance during a game or during your career. And it's really about trying to find it. And one way that you can find it, the easiest way you can find it, is to practice a lot. But then you're going to come upon things that kind of shake you up a little bit. And I don't know what year this is on the national team for me. It's kind of like cloudy, because I've been doing the towel on the side for 3 years, I want to say. But I wouldn't consider myself a national team member. I'm more of a national team janitor. I played the janitor role for about 2 or 3 years. And that was really easy and fun. I loved my job. I made great friends doing my job. We wiped the floors like nobody else. We were in and out. We were quick. And then this past year, I started to play and travel.
Wait, so just to clarify, I just want to, sorry to interrupt you there, but they're
sorry, these are long-winded answers. You can just shut me up whenever you want.
I love this conversation, but just so they know back and forth, I've told this story to a few people. When you were talking about the towels, just explain that. What does that mean when you show up on the national team? What's the towel situation? Just explain what that means exactly.
Oh yeah, no. If you're showing up and you're not Taylor Sander and you're not Micah Christensen, there's a pecking order, and I'm clearly at the bottom, and that actually is a place that I'm pretty comfortable, oddly. And so me and my friend Kyle Ensing have become really, really efficient at towel wiping. And what that is if they're ever playing 6-on-6, you go through the drills, you do all the drills, and then when it turns to 6-on-6, you literally line, score, and wipe the floor in towels, basically. And Dustin Watton, I know he's a lot of people know who Dustin Watton is. He is the worst person to have to wipe the towel for. This man dives 3 times a rally. I swear to God, if he's passing a free ball, he's on the floor. And like they don't stop. And we're trying to get in there and wipe it so that we don't want Matt Anderson spraining an ankle because I didn't wipe the towel. I didn't wipe the floor with the towel. So I'm in there trying to wipe up dust and sweat nonstop, trying to avoid the ball. And you're in the thick of it. So it's a great time.
So it's
towel wiping is not a bad place to be.
It's funny you say that because a lot of these players, we had Dustin on here earlier in the year.
Perfect. You guys know who he is.
But that's true because I've never laughed so hard watching. I've seen him dive like after plays.
Oh, it's unbelievable. You don't know it until you're a towel wiper and you're like, hold on a second here. Did he just die? I have to go wipe up people that are actually diving and then work my way back around to him on the side.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Dude, by the way, too, speaking of all time, like all the years in Ashland, speaking of people that have the towel, you have the towel job when you show up, no matter who you are, that's how you do it. You have by far been the best one.
Thank you. I take that job very seriously. It's a really good time. If you're gonna be there, I'm standing still for an hour and a half and just sulking. There's no way.
Guys, Micah at practice had a towel. So he was the towel guy. He had a towel wrapped around his head, tied up, wrapped around his waist, wrapped around his knees, wrapped around his this. And guys would dive.
Multiple towels equals more efficiency.
Yeah.
You know?
This is a good lesson.
I need to start bringing my own towels from home. Like with designs and with my name, with Micah Ma, number 13, towel wiper.
But no, it's a really good example though, because you're so you like to have fun, and you work hard. And I think some people think when you work hard, that automatically means you have to be like this serious, go crazy, and like no, you have a really really good time. We have a good time, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of backlash, as you know. Not a lot of people take that. They take it the wrong way when you're trying to have fun. So there's definitely a juggling act of people not thinking you take your job seriously, which I don't and I do, because I don't want to take it too seriously, because I don't want to be stressed out and not having fun all the time. So I try and work that in. We've had multiple at UCLA. We've had actually a psychologist come in, and there have been some heated discussions about me and my warm-up partner who would warm up playing tag and dodgeball for games, and that was a big serious thing. And I get that. So you have to respect other people's workspace, and at the same time, you shouldn't have to always abide by the people that are quiet and that want silence. I don't know how to say that in a different way, but yeah.
I think you said it just fine. Yeah. Speaking of which, I don't think you've ever got any backlash from your offensive coach. I just want to say that.
No, so Brian Thornton is the offensive coach, and we have recently devised a plan to split off from the national team.
Hey, Micah, this was said in confidence, man.
Okay.
This is being recorded.
Be on the lookout for the real Brian Thornton and him taking over. We're gonna have a good time. For this specific reason, we were thinking about this actually.
Exactly. I don't remember what we were talking about. Where were we? What was the question?
Yeah, let's have some questions. I know that wasn't very
no, I think we're in the middle of something.
Instructional.
I interrupted with the towel. I don't remember what we were talking about. Something about we were transitioning into national team stuff. I don't remember where we were going. But.
Okay. Yeah, I really don't remember.
How did you? So one thing that I'm sure if anyone remembers that question, type it in and we'll.
Yeah, we don't remember actually.
We're gonna have some. We're gonna segues. We're gonna shoot out there. So some tangents. So I just I know you play. One thing about Micah Ma too is he's out at the international level this last summer. Probably the first player to ever do it since Karch Cry. Micah played both outside hitter and setter. 2 positions at the international level, at the national team level, against really, really top level teams, which is incredibly difficult to do, as a lot of people here have switched positions before. Like, just talk about that. What's that like for you?
It's a great time, honestly. Whenever I'm setting, I want to hit, and whenever I'm hitting, I want to set. And so switching back and forth is super, super fun. I love it. But at the same time, my whole upbringing, I've played a lot of different positions, and a lot of coaches have wanted me to specialize because it's tough to be the best at one position, let alone trying to do it while juggling the responsibilities of another. And that is super fun. And so I love that. It's just, will it help me get to the highest level? That's kind of the discussion to be had. But because I would come in and do serve receive work for like, I would come in extra and do like 30 minutes of serve receive work for like a week. And then when I play 6-on-6, I'm setting like the next week, and then I'm hitting the net. It's really tough to keep up with at that level, especially because there's a lot of connection issues. And I mean, the other setters are Micah and Kavika and Josh, and the other outsides they're doing what they do all day long and like mastering their craft. And I'm kind of just hop, skipping, and jumping all around the around the court. So it's fun and it's difficult. Yeah, that's really much. That's like the simplest way to put it. Yeah, it's really fun, but it's also really difficult.
You've done a hell of a job with that, and that's a tough, really, really difficult thing to do. So some of these, I'm getting a question. They're asking, how many hours a day do you train through like now, or well, not now? How many hours did you train right now, actually, and how many hours a day do you train when this isn't happening?
So I actually have trained. I've trained like I've done nothing
Yeah.
for
And
like a month.
as your coach, I just want to say I think that's the right call.
It's just for us. I've heard people talk about how they go 10 years. If you're a professional like volleyball player, you go 10 years without an off season. You go overseas and you play for about 8 months, which is an incredibly long season. Like NBA, NFL, no other season is as long as a volleyball season. Maybe the baseball is probably, but you do that and then you come immediately home and you play for the national team for the entire summer, and then you go right back. And I know like last summer was the first time that Micah Christensen and Matt Anderson had gotten like a 3-week program. If I'm wrong, let me know. Is that right, Brian? Where like 1 week they had off, 1 week they had like light lifting, and then they had an introductory period.
We had a really big ramp up last year. This year we wouldn't have been able to do it. We probably
Okay, right. But like even in this case, like people don't get a break.
Yeah,
and
no,
so
that's the hard part.
For us to have like a month and a half off, as you guys probably have picked up from me, I'm kind of like a cruiser. I work really hard. I will say I do work really hard. There's no way that you're gonna get to the top without working hard. That's not really a thing that happens. But I also like to hang out. And so this past month I've just been hanging out, just cruising. I just came home to Hawaii to see my family, giving the body a rest. And because I know I'm young, I can kind of start to pick it up when we get a little bit of a notice that we can get back in a couple weeks. I just start to get back at it and work as hard as I can to try and make up for what I've lost. But as of right now, I've been hanging out.
You'll be all right. And you're like I mean, as you said, no one really knows anything right now for us too. So
yeah.
But
so, on a normal week, right? On a normal week, we get into the gym at about 7:30, maybe 8. I think we practice at 9, and we practice and then we lift, and we're out of there at about 2. And I try and do something extra a little bit most days, whether it's on the court or in the gym. So yeah, I'd say, what is that? 8 to 12 is 4 hours, probably 6 hours, not nonstop training, but 6 hours based around volleyball of your day. Yeah, and it can get to be a lot, but that's kind of what it is at the time. Yeah.
And since you're not, I could be wrong, but since you're not training, I heard a rumor that you were building a farm.
That is true, but I've ditched the farm effort. I came to Hawaii. She's not happy with me.
So
my girlfriend's starting a farm. She's building a coop right now alone.
So
she's not happy.
I'm going to build a farm with you, and then halfway through, you're just like, I'm going back.
Yeah, that is correct. That is correct. To be right, it's my mom's birthday tomorrow, so that is the reason I did come home.
Oh,
so there's no complaining about
mom.
Yeah.
How were you as a farmer, out of curiosity?
I killed a rattlesnake.
With your bare hands?
Killed a rattlesnake? No, I wish. I thought about it, but I didn't. I jumped across a lake, and a rattlesnake literally popped up in my face and just started mirroring everywhere I went. And luckily, my girlfriend was within shouting distance, and I shouted at her, and she brought a gun, and I shot it. And that was the highlight of my summer by far. We have a picture of it. I don't have it. She has it. And then we also bought 13 chicks. But most of the time we live in an apartment. So we were raising 13 chicks in our 2-bedroom apartment in El Segundo. And they're kind of getting too big for the shower. So she's building a coop right now, trying to find a place for them to sleep.
Can you, if of all things to keep us updated on, like, yeah, keep us updated on your volleyball. Can you keep us updated on those chicks, please?
Yeah, we will. We will for sure.
That's all.
I will admit it is a daily conversation about trying to downsize on the chicks. So I'm not sure how long they'll be around for.
Oh, good luck with that. Just out of curiosity too, this is not a good segue. There's no good way to segue from talking about you building a farm and little chicks into volleyball, but so we're just gonna go for it. Do you have a favorite play or like a favorite experience you've ever had through volleyball?
Oh,
Both on the court and off the court?
that's a good question. My favorite play? Wow, there's a lot of volleyball to go through. I would say my favorite play would have to be in Hawaii. I didn't get the ball. Actually, there's 2 plays in Hawaii that are my favorite plays. One of them was the ball went into the stands, and I was extremely upset because this is my freshman year. I was coming home to Hawaii, and we were losing. And I thought the team wasn't trying hard enough. And so I jumped into the stands after this ball, and the ball was like four there's a courtside seat, another row of courtside seats, about 3 feet to walk, so a walkway, and then a curtain, and then the stands. And the ball was 3 stands in above the curtains. And I sprinted to the courtside seats, and I went over both of them and went through the curtain and had hit my head on, like, there's a step up. And everyone's like, what in the world was this guy thinking? And coach called a timeout, and he was extremely upset with me because he's like, what were you doing? Like, you could have gotten injured.
Yeah, he's like, correct me if I'm wrong, but you just pulled a Dustin Watton.
No, nobody had to wipe it up. It's off the court. It's off the court. But I had told him, I was like, dude, nobody's trying out here. I'm going like as hard as I can go, and I'm hoping that could inspire other people. I'm doing this to get them to figure out that I'm trying to win.
Yeah.
And we actually came around, and we had won that game in 5. I would say, I don't want to make it a long-winded answer. I would say that's my favorite play, even though I didn't make a good play. I would say, yeah, that was my favorite play.
Did it work? Did it inspire other?
Yeah, no, it worked. We were down, I think, 1 set, and we were down like 6 points in the second or something. I remember we were losing bad, and I was not happy because my family was there, and my family was there, and they were taking heat, so I wanted to win, and I think we won. I think we won in 5.
But yeah, because I think the way I could just like envision the way you diving into the stands, like it looks good, like it's super athletic.
I don't know. There's no footage of it, man. The hard part about volleyball is that there's not accessible footage. Like, I would love to have gone through and looked, but it's not in a lot of places. There's a couple plays I would love to have seen, and they're all regarding jumping in the stands. Actually, all 5 of them.
There was one time that I had the same idea as you, where I was like, oh, I got to fire up the team and jump over I was jumping over the scoreboard at Pepperdine, actually. And
it's a good play.
Like, I can imagine you, but I'm telling you, it didn't go well.
Oh, God.
I wasn't like super athletic, like I'm nowhere near the athlete you were, so I just kind of like flopped over the table, and really it was just more embarrassing for me than anything else.
I flopped over a table in Hawaii a different time. Have you seen that play? No, yeah.
No, I didn't see much of your like old stuff.
It made it on Sports Center. That was cool.
Yeah.
It made on the.
What number?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
You didn't watch it.
I've seen it. I didn't see it live, but somebody had sent it to me. I don't know what number it was. I've been on it a couple of times, but I don't know. I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Cool.
But I flopped. I don't know why it was on there.
Well, I've got a really like just the question that you're like supposed to ask, you know?
Yeah. Let's.
If you had to go back from where you are now, how old are you right now?
23 now.
23. So you're 23.
Yeah.
You just had your first pro season overseas, right? If you
Yeah.
had to go back and tell 15, 16-year-old version of yourself, just something that, just anything, just any bit of advice, anything that what you know now, comparatively to what you did back then, what would it be?
It's so cliche, but like just to enjoy the time, you know? I mean, everybody will tell you this, but I think luckily I had picked up at a younger age that like I would be in the 5th grade and then graduate to the 6th grade and say like, wow, this is the only time I'll be in the 6th grade. Like I need to make my 6th grade the best 6th grade ever. So I started doing that at a young age, and like I think that has like changed my life. I've had like an amazing time almost every year now because of like the fact that this is the only time I'll ever be 23, and it's really simple, but to think about it like that I'm really never going to be 23 again. And I did that at a younger age. I would say just to enjoy the time. I mean, like I said, my club years are my favorite years of volleyball by far. I have my two best friends that I played with since I was a really, really, really young kid. Both had shots at the national team, and both actually quit volleyball, quit the national team, because it wasn't the same as our club years. I mean, I had a lot of talks with them, and they had just talked to me about the fact that volleyball used to be the greatest thing in the world when we were all friends and doing it together and all living and sleeping at each other's house every night. And then it became a job, and it became really, really serious, and they didn't want it to be that. So I would say just take advantage of the fun times you have. Work hard, because winning's always better than losing. So find a way to work hard. If you have to do it, try to find ways to compete, because that's always the easiest way to get the most out of yourself, is to compete against others in every little drill you do. Or if I'm walking to the store, I'm going to walk faster than you. Like just small contests like that. I remember doing small things like that. And those kinds of things like are fun, but you're secretly working really, really hard. So do those kinds of things just so that you can ensure that you're winning more than you're losing, so you can have a good time. You can have a good time losing too. Don't get me wrong, but I'm sure a lot of people here would like to win, and I like to win too. So you got to do that as well.
You're just I don't know, I was listening to you talk, and I know that you're definitely a guy in life who does other things, but you have a bunch of other stuff going on besides volleyball. And so I'm just curious, what was that?
Yeah, for sure. I try to.
Can you
Yeah.
talk about that?
Yeah, of course.
So Micah also is a musician. So I don't know. You want to talk about what you do? Because I think it's important for them to hear about all the different stuff you have going on.
Yeah.
Anytime it's just volleyball, it's cool that you have a bunch of other stuff going on. So yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah. I think first off, like, I've always done a lot of different things. I played a lot of different sports, been involved in a lot of different things. And I think what it helps with is like, not taking volleyball extremely seriously. Because I actually think that that's detrimental. I really do. I think you can get on a roller coaster of emotions that solely is revolved around performance, and volleyball, and some things you can't control. And it's nice to have outlets. It's nice to have a lot of other things that you do just for fun. So yeah, I put out a couple songs. My roommate in college was a musician, and I started working with him a little bit. And I put out 2 singles just for fun. I somehow got them on Spotify, and they have almost 1 million views now, streams on Spotify. And then I wrote a song and sang it with my roommate, and that's actually his biggest song, which has like, I think 2.2 million streams on Spotify or something crazy like that. And I never promoted any of it. I wanted it just to be something I did on the side. I didn't want anyone to actually realize I was doing it. So I didn't promote it. And then when these numbers came in, some people had contacted me to start to take it a little bit more serious and kind of invest money into it. And right now I'm at the point in trying to decide if I want to do that or not, if I would like to make another thing that I just did for fun into another career. Because that's not always the best move. So I'm trying to decide that right now. And then now I'm actually getting into TikTok. I know everybody does TikTok. I've been doing it. I've been loving it. And I think what I'm going to do is make a challenge. I'm going to challenge my sister that I can get to like a ridiculous amount of followers, and I'm going to bet her before we get out of quarantine, and I'm willing to do whatever and just like have fun with it. Cause I've been getting a little bit bored. I haven't been working out. So I'm going to like see what I can do on that. And I think that would be super fun too.
Well, I guarantee you're going to have 63 pretty quick followers right here.
Yeah. Hey guys, help me out. I bet her $100 I couldn't do it. And if you guys want to see things, I will do. I'm pretty crazy. I'll do whatever. And I think I think it'll be a funny time. I want to like almost like document the whole thing. I told her that she could have a couple days where I can't say no to her, and I have to do every single thing she says. And so she's writing out a list that she wants me to do.
That sounds incredibly familiar to a game I saw you play on the road in Japan last year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Should we fill the people in on that or no?
I mean, I'm bringing it up. Look, this wasn't even something I planned to talk about, but you kind of brought it up here. That seems very.
Okay. So I got bored in Japan. We were there for a month for the World Cup. And obviously I didn't even get close to playing. I barely even practiced. So trying to keep entertained was something that I had to do. And we had gotten into a lot of cards, a lot of gambling. Not the most healthy of habits, but we played a lot of cards. And then randomly we were in the back of a bus. I'm not exactly sure how this happened, but our middle, Max Holt, had a banana peel. And he said, "Hey man, would you carry this?" I don't know how this happened. I really don't. But I was like, "Yeah, I'll carry it for the rest of the day for sure." And he's like, "What? You'll carry it for the rest of the day?" He's like, "I'll give you $100 if you can carry it for the rest of the trip." And I think we had like, what? How long do we have left?
I don't know how it got started or how it happened, but I will say it was disgusting.
I held a banana in my hand, I think for like a week and a half. I had it we got bronze, and I had it on the podium in my hand while we were getting the medals and stuff. And then right after that, they finally let me. He actually chickened out because he made me change the banana. Because and the rule was I can't let the banana go. So what I did was I put in a plastic bag because I had to shower. Yeah. And my door was open at all times so he could check on me at any time. And I duct taped the plastic bag to my hand. And I just kept it there because that was the easiest way to do it. Yeah. And I kept it there for, I think, like 4 days. And he saw it and he was like, "Please, no, do not keep that on your hand." I'm like, "Why? It's fine." And it was like dripping. There was like, it was so disgusting. And so he changed the rule to be, I just had to have a banana peel. I could change the banana peel, but it had to be a banana peel at all times. And I can't have it in a plastic bag.
In all honesty, just a little behind the scenes thing. I'm pretty sure it was a health issue. I think AB came over and was like, or AB is our trainer.
Really?
Came over and told Max, "Yo, the banana looked disgusting. That was the most. It was like black, and that was gross." And I think he was like, "I think we got to interchange the banana, get that out of there. I don't know what the consequences are of this thing." So
I know. Yeah. So I'm gonna take on this TikTok challenge. I think I am. So I only have. Kenji just said that I have 61 followers. So, I mean, we're almost there. If
they want to know, private messages too. They want to know what your TikTok handle is so they can.
Yeah. Hey, guys, it's Micah, KMAA, Ma. And just hang out for the journey. Hopefully you guys will get some good content. We'll see what we can come up with. Oh, somebody asked a question, actually.
Yeah, we have a real one. Did you play multiple sports? And if so, do you think doing that helped you become a better volleyball player? Great question.
Super good question. Yeah, I know that that's a huge issue right now. I know a lot of people want people to specialize at a super young age. And I think there's benefits to both. But I played football, basketball, volleyball in most of high school. I played water polo and track in middle school. And then I grew up playing a bunch of sports, kind of like everybody. Your parents throw you in everything and kind of see what you like. And I think it helped me a lot. I think one way it helped me was like mentally thinking about sports in a way different way. Football brings a whole different like part to the game. It's practices are grueling. You have to be kind of tough. You get hit all day. Hopefully you can lay some hits out, but for me, I was skinny, so I was pretty much just taking hits all day, and it gets you a lot tougher than volleyball could in a lot of physical ways, but also mentally. You're going out there, you're preparing for battle in a sense. It's a really physical sport, obviously, so you take little things like that. Basketball, you can kind of figure out how to get people involved, which is cool as a setter. I played point guard a little bit, so trying to get people involved, trying to know when you need your score to have the ball, when you want to go inside, mismatches, things like that. Just becoming a smarter athlete, a smarter competitor, and then physical like things that come from football and basketball, getting in better shape from basketball and football, and getting stronger from football. I think they all added a lot to me, more than just a volleyball player, to me as a person. And that's what's, I know you guys talked to Dustin Watson. That's important to me too. I think not only getting better as a volleyball player, but getting better as a person, um, having a good time, and yeah, playing sports for fun and like trying to be the best at the same time.
I feel like a really cool answer, and I feel like the like I feel like the specialization like limits innovation a lot. Like, have you ever learned?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're able to apply things from different areas. That's why I like players like you who are super well rounded, because then you know they have the ability to like, oh look, that ball goes there. They weren't trained like robots that you go here. They're able to kind of
Yeah. Well, but
like,
at the same time, I know that a lot of people always preach the opposite of specialization, but that can come from, to be completely honest, that can come from specialization. If you're really good at your craft, um you spend a lot of time doing it, but you watch a lot of other people, you can become creative too. If you have that mindset of being creative, you can do that. I'm not saying that that's something that's specialized for people that do multiple sports. You can, I know people that just play volleyball and are more creative than I could ever be. So it comes with who you are as a person, but specialization has its benefits too. I know the more time you put into something, the better you become at it.
good point.
Um, and so if you are willing to do that, and more importantly, you're happy doing that, then do it. If you don't have interest in any other sport, try them out just so that you can know for sure that you don't like them. But if you really are committed to volleyball, go for it. No, nothing should make you want to be specialized or like well-rounded. If you feel comfortable and you're happy just doing volleyball all day, just do it.
Have you ever have you ever used something that from like a different aspect of life and applied it to volleyball and it helped you? Like another
Yeah,
you
I
learned other
think I
areas?
think we've talked about this actually. Me and Coach Brian, Coach Thornton, what are they? Whatever they call you. Um, we've talked about how our upbringings um, have made the players that we are. And I know for a fact in my upbringing, my family dynamic has 100% changed who I am. And then what really happens is it changes who you are, and that affects the way that you play volleyball, because you can't hide who you are in any way, in any self-expression or any art or any sport. You can't really hide who you are. And so things that make you who you are will come out. um and I know me and you have gone into great detail about this, but yeah, learning from our hardships, learning from specific roles we've had to play in our families, um that maybe, and I'm not sure, maybe not a lot of other people have to play. I know that everyone's situation is unique, but those have definitely made us more aware as people, which helps us in volleyball be aware of things that are going on, both fundamentally and emotionally, which is also a huge aspect of being a setter. Is a lot of times having a read on people's emotions, their confidence levels, their comfort zones. There's a lot of things that we can talk about from a setting standpoint that goes into it, more than just fundamentals that come from the way that we are raised and the way that we think.
Speaking of just reading your own players, how you were talking about, is that did you ever have a player on your team where you were that was your favorite to set?
My favorite player to set.
And that could be
Well,
club,
okay,
college, it could
yeah,
be
you guys might not know
multiple
this. Actually,
answers.
he's actually the guy that had quit from the national team. He's my childhood best friend. His name's Tui Tuileta. He's an All-American, was a libero for Hawaii, a two-sport athlete at USC, actually played football and volleyball, which is pretty incredible. And anytime that we play together, he is a middle. He only plays middle. We've played tournaments like this for a long time now. He plays only middle. He never plays anything else. And we come up with the best routes. I would argue in America, there's no setter middle combination like what we can do on the ball. I'm saying it here now.
So for who you guys know, we're talking about Tui is a libero, just to let you guys know. He's also
Tui is a libero.
He's a libero, and he's talking about setting him in the middle of the court. But it is impressive.
But we have routes. We have routes that, I mean, we'd put Max Holt in a blender, I think.
Well,
I don't think he'd know left from right. If we got out there with David Smith and Max Holt, I don't think they can stop him.
I don't think so either, especially if he's not wearing shoes. I don't think I've ever seen anyone be able that good at volleyball on a hard court without wearing shoes.
Yeah, hey, shoes or no shoes, we are willing to take on the men's national team 2-on-6 with him as my middle.
Dude, what was that? There was the one story. I'm so glad he got to come on some trips. That one story that from Tui where he came in to dig, where we were trying to tell him where to stand.
Yeah. He has a similar approach to us in the sense where he doesn't take volleyball extremely seriously. We take it very seriously, because that's what we do. We are volleyball players, but he has some fun with it too. And after that trip, what actually happened, guys, was Sproul comes up to me, and I know Tui had booked his own flight home. And he doesn't show up to practice. And he's like, where's Tui been? I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, what the heck? Like, somebody called Tui. I'm like, no, he's not picking up. He's on a plane right now. He left. He had left.
Is this summer?
This summer, he had left without telling.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. And Sproul was like, where's Tui? And I wasn't going to tell him.
I mean, the amount of secret information that's being recorded right here and going to be blasted out everywhere is just fantastic. I think it's going really well.
Hey, yeah. Have you guys seen Designated Survivor? We're like that president, Tom Kirkman. We are transparent. If you guys want inside scoops, you know who to bring on the podcast or the Zoom. It's Brian Thornton and me. All access.
There's another question down here we've got. How do you know when to keep pushing physically and mentally and when to take a break because it's too much? How do you know that for yourself?
That's a super good question. I had found, I don't know where I was. I think we were at the Olympic qualifiers in the Netherlands. And my dad had called me because he works for a school where you have to be Hawaiian to go there. And he wanted me to talk to some of their athletes to inspire them because a lot of the times they come from lower income housing or underprivileged situations. And so I said, of course. And I talked to them and somebody had asked me this and I told them that a lot of times you're not always 100% in, but the goal is to never be 100% out. So I was telling them, you can just never throw in the towel. And like so many people go through ups and downs on the national team, like people that have a livelihood about this, a lot of the times are wondering, they don't want to play anymore, or I don't want to show up tomorrow. And you just can't throw in the towel. If this is what you want to do, you can never fully give up. You always have to go in there, try and give your best that you can, and push through it mentally. I've never fully taken a break because I don't want to, I don't want to be a quitter personally. I don't know. I just don't want to do that. So I've never thrown in the towel, but I've come really close, and it's okay to come really close because everybody does. Yeah, Thorny, you look like you can speak on that.
No, I'm just saying that's part of it. Just one thing you talk about is doubt. I think a lot of times these kids view that they have doubt for one time, or you don't believe in it, or you don't think it's for you. That one time that means it's not for you. And so I don't know. I just think that's good to talk about. So I'm just curious if there's any time that anytime that you wanted to really, really great someone, you've gone through that self-doubt and what that's like and how you overcame it. I think that just any kind of stories like that that's always super powerful stuff.
I think it's about, you're going to come with doubt, times where you're thinking you're not good enough and things like that. And the key is to just never give up. Go to practice, give your best, put in some extra work if you can. If you can't, that's totally okay. And then focus on other aspects of your life. For me, I would make music or do something like that. But yeah, you go in, you do what you have to do, and you live to see another day. Because at the same time, when you are having joy in other parts of your life, or if you make it through those lower times, you're going to come out and there's going to be great times. There's going to be really high times, and there's going to be times where it steadies out. But just know that a lot of people go through those times of doubt. And if you don't give up, if you work through it, nothing's forever. You'll get through it and you'll have a good time.
Cool. Really, really good answer. Let's see, out of the road trips from this last summer of the national team, what was your like, what was the top, I don't know, the best thing that happened for you this last summer?
Best thing that
it doesn't have to be volleyball related.
Best thing that happened for me this summer.
I can tell you the worst thing, the bus in Poland.
I loved that bus. I don't know why I thought it was the funniest thing. I swear to God. I slept the entire time too. I know you saw that. I slept the entire time. Oh gosh, the best thing that happened. I know for sure what it is. Actually, it's flying first class. Flying first class was the coolest thing to me. The volleyball, it was all right. It was up and down, but flying first class was so cool.
Okay, just to let them know, the way that you're saying that and the way they're interpreting it is they're envisioning me and you flying first class everywhere all over the world this last
No. We flew first class
be
one
honest
time.
This is the honest truth.
No, I was in no way trying to like put off that we did that everywhere. I was just saying flying for that one time flying first class was my highlight. I couldn't believe how good the food was. They brought you a drink. Like we didn't even take off yet, and I got a drink. It was incredible. I've never been out of economy.
I only did it once. I did it one time, and I remember I was trying to, like,
it is something else.
Did you have the tray to the side that you were?
I had it all, man. I swear I could have stayed in there for a month, I think. Honestly, that could be a challenge. Like, see how long I could live on an airplane, just taking that airplane wherever it goes, being in the first class seat.
I think
next
you do that.
In LA, and then goes to Chicago, and then goes to Singapore. I just stay on the plane. I don't leave.
I tell you what, if post volleyball, whenever you're done, like if you're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to pursue this, I'm going to get on a flight, I'm going to live like this for a year, I'm coming. I'll go. You get the plane.
My gosh, you heard it here first.
You get the plane, I'm going with you.
No, but we have to get it sponsored by like Delta or like United, because I don't want to just wait. You're saying we live on a plane, like a tiny plane, or like a commercial plane?
It's your idea. I'm going on your idea.
Oh, I had envisioned a commercial airlines like United, and then you're like, every flight that they're going on, you see the same pilot and stuff. You're on there for however long.
Yeah, no, and I see it like it's classy. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's not like, it's a little classy,
It's top of the line. I sleep better there than anywhere else, honestly. We'd meet incredible people. That would be a heck of a show, but we wouldn't have the Wi-Fi to upload the vlogs.
Yeah, I think we might need some serious sponsorships to get that thing going.
That's like a lot of different ways of hazard.
You're gonna have to work on the tiki-taki number to get those up before we get sponsorships like that, where we can take our.
I'm working on it. I have. I'm gonna check right now if you guys have.
I guarantee you're at least plus 10 more. Hey, by the way, Micah, I don't want to put any like pressure under you too, but you are getting some. You're getting some private requests from me too of like, if they can't, of like, hey, can Micah play a little jam at the end of this thing? Like, could you play music?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. And if not, if you don't want to, no big deal. You can just tell it. But I'd rather have live music's better.
No, for sure. Hey, I appreciate it. I think I have a lot more followers now.
Yeah.
I have 76.
That's good. That's all them. That's these
76.
Guys. That's them giving to you. That's appreciation right here.
Hey, guys, I appreciate it. I hope you guys like the content on there. That's just the beginning.
By the way,
It's
as
just the
many
beginning.
likes as you just got, that's how many songs you have to do here tonight. That's the rules. I didn't make them. That's just what happened. So if
No,
there's
yeah,
10,
yeah,
if
no,
you
I
ain't
don't,
10, you got to do 10 songs,
have
10 song set right
I
now.
don't have that. Listen, I'm getting followers everywhere, left and right. I can't sing all night long.
Yeah. Well, you want to, what do you want to do something?
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Hold on 1 second. Can you give me 1 second?
We can give you a full 2 minutes if you want.
Okay. I'm gonna ask my sister if she wants to play a song
Great.
real quick.
Let's see. Who can we talk to in the meantime? Who's here? Leilani, you have questions? Someone, can you unmute people, Trent, while we're waiting? Let's unmute.
My girls are going nuts right now.
We're about to have a say. I bet. All right, mute Leilani. Mute her.
All right. Yeah, that's a no for. She said that's a no for me, dog.
Oh, you got no. What about? Can we get a solo performance?
Yeah. How about this is something that I like to do. You guys can just put in some words, and I'll just freestyle them into a little song real quick.
So let's go.
So people,
Write words.
Go for it.
Hey, write any words in the chat that you want.
Yeah, any words that you want. And then
I got some right here.
really quick. You guys let me know if you guys can hear. I'm just gonna play like an instrumental.
Jimmy.
All right, let's see. All right, tell me if you guys can hear. That's a commercial. Can you guys hear that? Brian, can you hear
Yep.
this?
Yeah.
You can hear that? All right, Kofi. Jidori chicken. All right, let's see what we got.
I got a good one. It's coming in hot.
Okay. I'm waiting for yours. Or are you waiting? Are you waiting for me to go?
No, you gotta get Spam Moose to be in there though. Somewhere. That's something.
Okay, I will. Yeah, you a diamond in the rough, girl. You know you always acting tough, girl. I know you want it on the low, girl. But I can't seem to take you home, girl. And now I'm taking you to chicken katsu. I'm like, I like you, you know, I like you, you know, I like you. You got the Spam musubi up on the side, and I know you like to ride. I could do this anytime. Pythagorean, and no, I know I'm not Korean, but girl, you know the meaning of things that I like to say. And yes, you know the water, yes, the water in the way, you know. This is banana and banana yesterday, you know. And you could say Hawaiian sun. Yeah, on the run. Hey. All right, we're gonna change it up. I'm gonna start singing a little bit. That was a little bit of a rap. We need more words.
Green Lots is great.
Girl, you my chicken nugget. Yeah, and I love your name. I wanna sign for you. Yeah. I can take you in and out. I can take you in and out. Yeah, you like to scream and shout, but you know it's not about you. It's not about you. Yeah. Girl, you the kind, you the kind, you the kind. On my mind, on my mind, on my mind. You the type to take me out on tightrope. You a peacock with some fries on the side, yeah, I knock. And you like when I ride off the top. Take the top down, we could do a ride around. Yeah, ride around. Moco Loco, Soco Loco, I'ma do it again. And I'm talking just to all of my friends. And they checking out the TikTok. We gon' make it to 1 million. We gon' make it to 1 million. All right, that was it.
Boo, 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 boo.
Yes, sir. Not my best work. The pipes weren't warmed up. The pipes weren't warmed up.
Micah, we just want to say thanks, man, for doing this.
Of course.
We really appreciate it. You're
Yeah,
great.
thanks for having me on, guys. Hey, guys, help me, dude. Help me with the TikTok. Follow, like, subscribe. I don't know if that's the thing on there actually, but yeah, hey, share it. We're gonna make it. And then after that, me and Brian will go on a month-long exclusive access on a plane for a month and see if we can do that. Let's see if we can do that. That'd be sweet.
Can't wait. Who's funding it? Can't wait.
That'd be incredible. And you have to have a banana in your hand for the entirety of the
Yeah,
month.
if we get a month, we can do. I think we can both survive bananas in our hands. I think we
I
can.
think so too. All right, thanks guys.
All
I
right,
appreciate
thanks,
it.
Micah. Thanks, everybody. Just
Yeah, thanks guys.
incredible human. Love coaching you. Talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, take care, everybody.
See you guys.